Hey, dear listeners. Welcome back to Soulful English, your daily dose of light, clarity, and unstoppable motivation. Have you ever walked into a messy room and instantly felt heavy, tired, or frustrated? Now imagine your mind as that room. Every single day, your brain collects stress, regrets, overthinking, negative thoughts, comparison, fear, guilt, anxiety. And they just sit there piling up like unwashed clothes. You can't see it, but you feel it. And slowly, it begins to affect how you think, how you speak, how you work, and even how you treat others. Most people take care of their body, shower, dress well, eat right. But what about the mind? When was the last time you cleaned your mind? Here's the truth. A cluttered mind creates a restless life. A clean mind builds a powerful one. And just like you brush your teeth every day, your mind also needs a daily reset. It needs a system to release what doesn't serve you and refill it with peace, clarity, and strength. In this video, we're diving deep into 15 powerful techniques to clean your mind daily, not once a month, not just when you're feeling down, but every single day. Because your peace of mind is not a luxury. It's your foundation. So, grab your headphones, take a deep breath, and stay with me till the end. Some of these ideas might just change the way you think forever. Let's start clearing the fog and finding your focus. One powerful step at a time. Let's go. Point 1. Start your day with mental silence. Let me ask you something. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? For most people, it's checking the phone, notifications, emails, messages, maybe scrolling through social media. Within just 5 minutes, they've already allowed the outside world to invade their mind. Thoughts are rushing in, some good, some stressful, some completely unnecessary. And boom, your mind, which was calm just a minute ago, is suddenly flooded with noise. But what if I told you there's a better way to start your day? A way that doesn't just feel peaceful, but actually clears your mind and gives you full control of your thoughts. That way is mental silence. When you first wake up, your mind is at its softest. It's like freshly fallen snow, pure, untouched. Whatever footsteps you leave now, they'll stay for the rest of the day. So, why not start with silence? Why not give your brain a few sacred minutes of stillness? Mental silence doesn't mean you have to meditate for an hour or chant mantras. It simply means creating inner space before you allow external noise in. Sit up on your bed, close your eyes, feel your breath. Don't think about your to-do list. Don't worry about the world. Just sit, just breathe, just be. This tiny habit, even if it's just 5 minutes long, does something powerful. It resets your nervous system, reduces anxiety, and helps you begin your day with clarity and confidence. Your mind starts fresh, not with stress, but with serenity. You'll notice something magical, too. In that silence, your true self begins to whisper. That small voice you usually ignore, it returns. It tells you what you truly need, what you're truly feeling, what matters to you today. And that voice, my friend, is your best guide. You wouldn't pour dirty water into a clean cup, would you? Then why allow negativity into your clean morning mind? Mental silence is your daily cleanse. It's like brushing your mind, not your teeth. And here's a secret. Most people run all day trying to feel better without realizing the best way to feel good is to start good. And silence is the softest, safest, and most powerful start you can give yourself. So tomorrow morning, before you grab your phone, grab your breath. Before you scroll, sit in silence. Before you speak to others, speak to your soul. Your mind will thank you. And your day, it will feel lighter, calmer, and more focused than ever. Point 2. Let go of yesterday every single day. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you wake up already feeling tired, heavy, or sad, and you can't even explain why? That's not today's stress. That's yesterday's weight you never put down. You see, our mind is not just a place of thoughts. It's a storage house. And unfortunately, it doesn't come with an automatic delete button. If you don't clear out the pain, the guilt, the regrets, the anger, they stay. They sit silently in your mind, playing in the background, affecting how you feel, how you act, and how you see the world. So many people are mentally exhausted, not because of what's happening today, but because they're carrying the emotional baggage of yesterday. That could be last week or even years ago. That's why it's so important to develop the habit of letting go of yesterday every single day. At the end of each day, take 5 to 10 minutes to sit with yourself and reflect. Not to overthink, not to punish yourself, but to gently ask, what am I still holding on to that I need to release? Maybe it was a harsh word someone said to you. Maybe it was your own mistake. Maybe it's something you didn't say or didn't do. Whatever it is, speak to it, acknowledge it, and then say, I choose to let this go. I won't carry this into tomorrow. You can even write it down in a small notebook and end the day with a simple line. I release this. I'm free. This practice may sound simple, but it's powerful. Over time, it trains your brain to stop attaching to pain. It teaches your heart to breathe again, and slowly you begin each day lighter, freer, clearer. Because let's face it, you can't drive forward while looking in the rearview mirror, and you can't create a peaceful present while clinging to a painful past. Mental clarity doesn't just come from what you do today. It comes from what you stop dragging in from yesterday. So remember, every day is a fresh page. Don't write today's story with the ink of yesterday's sorrow. Let go. Clean the mental table and allow your mind the space it needs to heal, grow, and move forward. Point 3. Protect your mind from toxic input. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant, that's what will grow. Now imagine if every day, instead of planting seeds of peace, hope, or wisdom, you're planting fear, hate, gossip, or comparison. What do you think will grow in that garden? Let's face it, we live in an age of endless noise. From the moment we wake up, our eyes are glued to screens. News headlines shouting negativity. Social media feeding us carefully edited versions of other people's lives, angry comment sections, drama-filled content, and we consume all of it without even thinking. But here's the hard truth. What you feed your mind becomes your mindset. Just like junk food damages your body, toxic input damages your mind. And the worst part is we often don't realize it. We keep wondering, why do I feel anxious? Why do I feel less confident? Why do I feel stuck or sad? But we never pause to ask, what am I watching? What am I listening to? Who am I giving my attention to? Your mind becomes what you allow in. And if you're not careful, you're letting others control the quality of your thoughts. So, how do you protect your mind? Start by becoming ruthless about your input. Just like you wouldn't let garbage into your home, don't let mental garbage into your head. Unfollow pages that constantly make you feel like you're not enough. Mute the voices that bring you down. Limit time on news and apps that drain your energy. Say no to gossip, say no to comparison, and most importantly, say yes to content that builds you up. Choose input that inspires, that teaches, that challenges your thinking in a healthy way. Podcasts, books, motivational videos, peaceful music, conversations with wise people. These are the vitamins your mind craves. You have a choice every single day, either to feed your mind with fear, doubt, and negativity, or to nourish it with hope, knowledge, and truth. And remember, a clean mind is not just an empty one. It's a protected one. It's not about shutting the world out. It's about choosing what part of the world you allow in. You can't stop all the noise, but you can choose what you turn up. And in that choice lies your mental freedom. So from today, guard your input like your life depends on it. Because mentally, it truly does. Point 4. Practice thought journaling every night. Your mind talks all day. But do you ever stop to listen? Most of us are so busy running from task to task, jumping from screen to screen, that we never pause. We never check in with our own thoughts. We carry around worries, unfinished emotions, and random ideas like unorganized files stuffed inside a drawer. Over time, those mental files turn into clutter, anxiety, and confusion. That's why one of the most powerful ways to clean your mind daily is to journal your thoughts every night. And no, journaling doesn't mean you have to be a writer or fill pages with fancy words. It's not about being perfect. It's about being honest. It's about giving your mind a space to breathe, to dump, to release. Imagine this. Before going to sleep, you sit down with a notebook or even your phone. You take 5 minutes and you simply write, "What did I feel today? What made me smile? What stressed me out? What thoughts keep spinning in my head?" By answering these simple questions, you take the chaos out of your head and place it on paper. It's like taking the mental trash out before you go to bed. Because here's the thing, thoughts that are not expressed get trapped. And trapped thoughts often turn into anxiety, overthinking, or emotional exhaustion. Journaling acts like a detox. You don't keep it all inside. You release it. And something magical happens when you write regularly. You begin to understand yourself more. You start noticing patterns. You realize what triggers your stress. You discover what truly brings you joy. You grow quietly, slowly, powerfully. Plus, journaling helps you sleep better. A mind that is cleared before sleep doesn't toss and turn with racing thoughts. It rests. It heals. So give yourself this tiny gift every night. 5 to 10 minutes of honest reflection. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Remember, the mind is not designed to hold everything. That's why we forget things. That's why we feel overwhelmed. Journaling is your way of telling your brain, it's okay. You don't have to carry all this. I've got you. Write your way to peace. Clear your head. Sleep light. Wake up free. Point 5. Forgive often. Even if they don't say sorry. Let's be real. People will hurt you. Sometimes unintentionally, sometimes very intentionally. Words will be said, promises will be broken, trust will be shattered, and in all this your heart collects pain and your mind collects stories. Stories of betrayal, stories of unfairness, stories of why you can't trust anymore. But here's what we don't always realize. Unforgiveness is a poison that hurts you more than the person you haven't forgiven. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or bitterness, it doesn't live in their body. It lives in yours. That energy sits quietly in your mind, replaying the moment again and again. You relive the hurt every time you think about it, and slowly your peace begins to fade. Your joy starts shrinking, and your focus gets hijacked. You think you're holding on to the pain to protect yourself, but in truth, you're trapping your own mind in a cycle of emotional clutter. Forgiveness is not about saying, what they did was okay. No, it's about saying, I won't let what they did live in my mind anymore. It's freedom. It's letting go. Not for them, but for you. You see, some people will never apologize. Some people will never understand the damage they caused. And waiting for that apology can keep you mentally stuck for months, years, even decades. But when you forgive without needing an apology, you take your power back. You reclaim ownership of your mental peace. And forgiveness doesn't have to be loud. It can be private, silent, internal. Sit with yourself, feel the pain, acknowledge it, and then say, this hurt me, but I'm done carrying this. I deserve peace. I choose to forgive. You may have to repeat that many times. Some wounds take time. That's okay. Forgiveness is a practice, not a one-time decision. And don't forget to forgive yourself, too, for the mistakes, the wrong choices, the words you didn't say, the signs you ignored. You're human. And healing begins with grace. Because a clean mind is not one that has never been hurt. It's a mind that has chosen to rise above hurt, to heal, to move forward. So today, let forgiveness be your mind's fresh air. Breathe it in. Release the past and make space for something better. Point 6. Disconnect to reconnect. When was the last time you truly sat with yourself without distractions, without screens, without background noise? In today's world, we're always connected. Notifications, emails, messages, endless scrolling, autoplay videos that never stop. Our phones are the first thing we touch in the morning and the last thing we see before sleep. But here's the hard truth. We're so connected to the outside world, we become disconnected from our own inner world. We're constantly looking at other people's lives, but we forget to look at our own. We hear everyone else's voice, but we forget how our own voice sounds. We respond to everyone's message, but we ignore the one that matters most, the message from within. That's why one of the most powerful habits to clean your mind daily is to disconnect, even for a little while, so you can reconnect with yourself. It doesn't have to be for hours. Start with just 15 to 30 minutes a day. No phone, no internet, no background distractions, just silence, stillness, and space. Use that time to breathe, to stretch, to reflect, to just be. You'll be surprised at what comes up in those quiet moments. You'll realize things you've been avoiding. You'll hear thoughts that were buried under noise. You'll remember dreams that were lost in distractions. Your mind needs space to process emotions, to rest, to heal. But when it's constantly stimulated by outside input, it becomes cluttered, overworked, confused, anxious. Disconnection is not laziness. It's mental hygiene. And guess what? The world will still be there when you return. You won't miss out. In fact, you'll return stronger, clearer, more focused. It's like stepping out of a noisy crowd just to take a breath. And when you go back in, you can finally hear your own thoughts clearly again. So make it a daily ritual, a sacred pause, a moment where the world doesn't get to reach you. Only you do. Disconnect from chaos. Reconnect with peace. Disconnect from pressure. Reconnect with purpose. You'll realize that the more you unplug from the world, the deeper you plug into yourself. And that, dear listener, is where the magic happens. Point 7. Say no without guilt. One of the heaviest burdens we carry in our mind is the pressure to please everyone. We say yes when we want to say no. We agree to things that drain us, attend events we don't want to be part of, and take responsibilities we're not mentally ready for. All because we're afraid to disappoint others. And while we're busy trying to keep everyone else happy, we quietly ignore the exhaustion building inside our own heart. But here's the truth that no one tells us. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to your peace, your time, your boundaries. And that mental cost piles up. It creates resentment, stress, and a sense of being lost. Your mind starts feeling overcrowded, not just with tasks, but with regret. That's why one of the most freeing ways to clean your mind daily is to practice the art of saying no without guilt. Because not every opportunity is right for you. Not every invitation deserves your presence, and not every request must be fulfilled at the cost of your sanity. Saying no doesn't make you rude, selfish, or unkind. It makes you honest. It means you respect your limits. It means you're aware of your energy and protecting it. And let me be clear, you can say no with grace. You don't have to explain too much. You don't have to justify your rest. A simple "I can't commit right now" or "thank you, but I need some space" is enough. The world may push back at first, especially if you're someone who's always been available. But the more you set your boundaries, the more your mind begins to breathe. You stop feeling trapped in situations that don't align with your spirit. You stop carrying the guilt of being everything to everyone. And slowly you start feeling something beautiful: mental freedom. Remember, peace doesn't come from how much you do. It comes from how much of what you do feels right to your soul. And the first step to doing what feels right is saying no to what feels wrong. So the next time your body says, "I'm tired," and your heart says, "This doesn't feel good," listen, honor it, say no, and walk away without guilt. Because every no to the world that doesn't align with you is a yes to the world inside you. A clean, calm, and peaceful mind begins where guilt ends. And choosing yourself, even in small ways, is not selfish. It's sacred. Point 8. Declutter your physical space to declutter your mind. Have you ever noticed how a messy room can make you feel restless, irritated, or even anxious for no clear reason? That's not just coincidence. Your external environment has a powerful effect on your internal world. When your surroundings are cluttered, your mind subconsciously feels that chaos. It becomes harder to focus, harder to relax, and harder to feel at peace. That's why cleaning your physical space is not just a chore. It's a form of mental cleansing. Your room, your desk, your closet, they all reflect pieces of your mental state. When they're filled with unnecessary items, broken things, or piles of stuff you no longer need, they silently whisper to your mind, "You're behind, you're overwhelmed, you're stuck." And the more those whispers continue, the more your thoughts begin to mirror that clutter. But the moment you start organizing, something magical happens. As you clear out old items, your mind begins to release old thoughts. As you throw away what no longer serves you, you begin to let go of mental weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. A clean space brings clarity, calmness, and control, three essential ingredients for a peaceful mind. You don't have to do it all in one day. Start small. Maybe one drawer, one shelf, one corner of your room. Pick up each item and ask, does this add value to my life, or is it just taking up space? If it's the second, let it go. Donate it. Throw it out. Make room, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And remember, your phone and digital space also count. Clear your photo gallery. Organize your files. Unsubscribe from emails that clutter your inbox. Unfollow pages that clutter your focus. Every time you remove unnecessary physical and digital noise, your mind becomes just a little bit lighter. It's not about being perfectly minimalist. It's about being intentional, surrounding yourself with things that bring you peace, not pressure. Because when your environment feels calm, your thoughts follow. You breathe deeper. You think clearer. You move with more purpose. So if your mind feels messy, stressed, or scattered, look around you. Maybe your environment is trying to tell you something. Clean a space, light a candle, open a window, and let the freshness outside reflect the freshness you deserve inside. A clean space is more than visual comfort. It's a mental invitation to slow down, reset, and breathe again. Point 9. Focus on one thing at a time. In a world that constantly praises multitasking, it's easy to believe that doing more at once makes us more productive. But the truth is, multitasking doesn't make your mind smarter, it makes it scattered. When you jump from task to task, message to message, screen to screen, your brain never gets the chance to fully engage with anything. It stays in a shallow, distracted state. And that chaos slowly turns into mental clutter. You begin to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and exhausted. Not because you're doing too much, but because your focus is being pulled in too many directions. That's why one of the most powerful ways to clean your mind is to focus on just one thing at a time. Whether it's eating your meal, finishing a task, talking to a friend, or even folding laundry, be fully present. Let your mind pour itself into that one moment. You'll be amazed at how peaceful and refreshing it feels when your thoughts aren't jumping all over the place. The act of single tasking is like giving your mind a deep breath. It slows your racing thoughts. It sharpens your concentration. And most importantly, it gives your brain the satisfaction of completion. That feeling of finishing something, no matter how small, sends a positive signal to your brain. You're in control. You did it. And that builds momentum. So instead of chasing 5 goals at once, pick one. Instead of opening 10 tabs, close the ones you don't need. Instead of replying to every message instantly, create space to respond with care. Life isn't a race to see how much you can cram into one day. It's about doing the right things, the meaningful things, one at a time with your full heart and clear attention. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do one thing well. And in doing so, you give your mind the gift of clarity, peace, and purpose. So today, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what's the one thing I need to give my full focus to right now? Then do just that. Let the rest wait. Your mind will thank you. Point 10. Replace complaints with gratitude. Let's be honest. Complaining feels easy. When things go wrong, when we feel misunderstood, or when life isn't going the way we expected, our first reaction is often to complain. Why me? This always happens. Nothing ever works out. These words slip out like second nature. But here's the hidden truth most people miss. Constant complaining doesn't change the situation. It only amplifies your misery. The more you complain, the more problems you see. The more you focus on the negative, the more your brain gets wired to expect negativity. It's like tuning your mind into a bad news channel 24/7. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine pausing for a moment when something frustrates you, and instead of complaining, you think, what can I be thankful for right now? At first, it might feel forced. It might even feel silly, but slowly this shift changes everything. Gratitude rewires your brain to see opportunities. It helps you appreciate small joys and to calm down in tough moments. It's not just feel-good advice, it's backed by science. People who regularly practice gratitude have stronger mental resilience, better health, and more satisfying relationships. Here's how you can practice this daily. Whenever you feel like complaining, stop. Take a breath. Replace the complaint with a gratitude statement. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, instead of groaning about the delay, try saying, I'm thankful I have a car and a destination to reach. Or if someone speaks rudely to you, instead of dwelling on it, think, I'm grateful I have the emotional strength not to react the same way. It's simple but powerful. Also, start or end your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Not big things, just the small ones. A warm shower, a smile from a stranger, a quiet moment to yourself. These are the things that keep your spirit alive. Over time, you'll notice that you complain less because your brain gets better at spotting what's going right. Instead of obsessing over what's wrong, you'll start seeing what's good. This change in mindset is not about ignoring problems. It's about choosing your focus. Complaints drain your energy while gratitude fills your tank. The more grateful you become, the less space you have for negativity. And in that space, something magical happens. Peace. So from today, make it a habit. Replace every complaint with a moment of gratitude. Your life may not be perfect, but your attitude can be powerful. Point 11. Let curiosity drive you. Have you ever seen a child explore the world? Everything is fascinating to them. A leaf, a shadow, a question like, why is the sky blue? That same spark of curiosity is one of the greatest tools to keep your brain young, active, and alive. Point 12. Take breaks before you burn out. Sometimes we think pushing ourselves harder and longer is the only way to succeed. We believe the more we do, the more we'll achieve. But here's the truth most people ignore. Your brain and body are not machines. If you never pause, you'll eventually crash. Taking breaks isn't a sign of weakness. It's a smart move to keep your energy, focus, and creativity alive. Think about your phone. If you use it nonstop without charging, what happens? It dies. You don't blame the phone. You just know it needs a recharge. Your brain works the same way. Constantly working, studying, or stressing drains your mental battery. Without breaks, you start feeling tired, frustrated, or even angry for no reason. You forget things, make silly mistakes, or lose motivation. That's the warning signal. You're burning out. Even small breaks can work magic. A 10-minute walk, closing your eyes and breathing deeply for a few minutes, stretching your arms, listening to calming music, or just stepping away from your screen. These tiny pauses refresh your mind. When you return, you'll feel more focused and ready to tackle your task with fresh energy. Many successful people actually schedule breaks like appointments. They know their mind needs space to breathe. Whether it's a short break during work or a full day off to rest, it helps their brain reset. That's how they maintain high performance without falling apart. Also, when you're stuck or can't think clearly, walking away for a bit can help you come back with better ideas. It's like giving your brain time to connect the dots in the background. You'll be surprised how many solutions come to you when you're doing something simple like washing dishes or walking in nature. So never feel guilty for needing a break. It doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you care about your long-term strength. Remember, rest is part of the process, not the opposite of progress. Give yourself permission to pause. When you do, you protect your focus, your energy, and your mental health. That's how you grow stronger, smarter, and more unstoppable. Point 13. Don't be afraid to reinvent yourself. Sometimes life pushes us into corners where the old version of ourselves no longer fits. And that's not a bad thing. It's a powerful opportunity to reinvent who we are. Reinvention doesn't mean you're being fake. It means you're growing. It means you're choosing to evolve instead of staying stuck in a life that no longer inspires you. Too many people get trapped in routines, titles, jobs, or habits that don't fulfill them just because they are afraid of starting over. But guess what? Some of the most successful and fulfilled people in the world have gone through major reinventions, sometimes more than once. Reinvention doesn't always require a massive change. Sometimes it starts small. Maybe you switch careers, take up a new hobby, move to a new city, or finally leave a toxic environment. Maybe you begin treating your health with more respect, or start dressing in a way that reflects your true self. Whatever it is, the point is, you have the power to change your story at any time. You're not a tree. You can move, you can choose, you can transform. And the best part? You don't need permission from anyone. Not your parents, not your friends, not your past self. Only you get to decide who you're becoming. When you give yourself the permission to reinvent, you open the door to a more authentic, exciting version of life. Of course, some people may not understand your changes. That's okay. Not everyone has the vision you do. Your job is not to explain your journey to people who were never meant to walk it with you. Your job is to become the person you know, deep down, you're capable of being. Reinvention isn't about escaping who you were. It's about honoring who you're becoming. So, don't be afraid to pivot, to grow, to shed what no longer serves you. Your next level may require a new version of you, and that version is waiting for your courage to bring it to life. Point 14. Surround yourself with positive energy. The people and environment around you have a huge impact on your mind. If you spend time with negative, critical, or toxic people, their energy can weigh you down without you even realizing it. Their doubts, complaints, and drama can clutter your thoughts and drain your motivation. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with positive, supportive, and uplifting people can lift your spirit and inspire you to be your best self. Positive energy is contagious. It fuels your confidence, creativity, and mental clarity. It helps you see challenges as opportunities instead of obstacles. That's why it's so important to choose your circle wisely. Spend more time with those who encourage your growth, listen without judgment, and celebrate your successes. Also, create a positive environment in your daily life by adding things that make you happy. Whether it's music, plants, art, or simply a clean and cozy space. When your surroundings reflect positivity, your mind naturally follows. Remember, you can't pour from an empty cup. Protect your mental space by protecting your energy. Surround yourself with light and watch your mind shine brighter every day. Point 15. Practice mindful breathing to stay present. In the chaos of everyday life, it's easy to get lost in worries about the future or regrets from the past. Our minds race, jump from one thought to another, and sometimes feel completely out of control. But there's a simple, powerful tool you can use anytime, anywhere to bring your mind back to peace: mindful breathing. Mindful breathing means paying full attention to your breath, noticing how it enters your body, how it feels as it moves, and how it leaves. It sounds simple, but the effects are profound. When you focus on your breath, you give your mind a break from the endless mental chatter. You ground yourself in the present moment, where calm and clarity live. Even just a few deep, slow breaths can reduce stress, lower your heart rate, and clear mental fog. This daily practice trains your brain to be less reactive and more centered. Whenever anxiety or overwhelm strikes, pause and take 3 to 5 mindful breaths. Feel the air fill your lungs and slowly release it. Notice how your body relaxes and your mind settles. Over time, mindful breathing becomes a refuge you can return to anytime you need. It's a reset button for your mind and simple, quick, and always available. So, start today. Before you check your phone, before a difficult conversation, or when stress creeps in, breathe mindfully. Your mind will thank you by staying clearer, calmer, and more focused. Remember, cleaning your mind isn't about eliminating thoughts. It's about learning to live with them peacefully. And mindful breathing is one of the most beautiful ways to do just that. Thank you so much for watching and being part of this journey to a cleaner, clearer mind. Remember, taking care of your mental space is just as important as taking care of your body. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more motivational content that uplifts and inspires you every day. Also, hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode that can help you grow stronger mentally and emotionally. Stay positive, keep growing, and always believe in the power of your mind. Until next time, take care and keep your mind clean and bright.